In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we have a new lesson for second secondary grade, first semester, English subject, Unit 5, Writing Form and Function, Mega Go 3. We will learn today how to write an essay about an unusual job that you might like to have. Then we will learn how to use tag questions to check information and how to ask for information with can, could, and would. Then we will learn using must, mustn't, and have to express obligation in the present and the future. Warm up. What does opinion essay mean? Opinion is to give your judgment. What do you think of something? This is opinion. So what does opinion essay mean? Think about this. Okay. In an opinion essay, you must give your opinion on a subject, so you must basically say if you agree or disagree with the statement. Now we will learn, or we will have an example of an opinion essay, which is the job of an arborist. What is arborist? This man is arborist. What's he doing? He's in the tree. And doing what? He's not cutting the tree. The people who cut trees, they cut the trees from the bottom, from down. But he's not cutting the tree. What's he doing? What do you think? He's like a doctor for trees. Arborist is a sort of surgeon for trees. So now we will listen and read together the job of an arborist. And this is as an example of writing about a job.
The job of an arborist. Although my parents would like me to become a doctor or a lawyer, I am interested in a very different kind of job. I would like to be an arborist, a sort of doctor for trees. To become an arborist, it is essential that you have a related bachelor's degree, for example in forestry, as the more you know about trees, the better you will be able to do what is expected of you. Arborists are hired by individuals or organizations to keep trees healthy and attractive. They fertilize, prune, plant, and cure trees. In other words, they are a kind of official tree carer. They are considered experts in their field. For this reason, they need to attend workshops and seminars throughout their career in order to keep up with developments. I think it's perfect for me. I am interested in working in nature and taking care of things. I like trees. I am patient, methodical, and hardworking. Finally, given current trends toward greener alternatives, I think there will be plenty of work for arborists in the future, so unemployment will not be a problem.
So this is an opinion essay about what unusual job you might like to have. So now write an essay about an unusual job you might like to have. Before you write, think about and or find on the internet the following: a description of the job, the background you should have for this job, and personal characteristics that would help you perform the job effectively. You can Google it, go for Google or Bing or Wikipedia, like this page, and read about the job that you're going to write about, and find this information. Then use the chart to help you brainstorm and organize your information. First, give the job or write the job, here this chart. Then important background, right? Important background about this job. Then job description, write job description. Then job responsibilities, write job responsibilities. Then finally write helpful characteristics. Write them in the chart. This chart is found in your book. Fill this chart, and this will help you to brainstorm and organize your information. When writing, think about what do you like doing, what kind of places do you like, and do you like spending more time inside or outside, and which room place do you spend more time in at home, and what are you good at, what would you like to develop or learn. Think about these things, and if you can, write them down. In a separate paper, write personal views, information, feelings, and opinions. Write personal views about this job. Now, try to write personal views. Take your paper and note down personal views and information about your job or the job that you're thinking about, and your feelings towards this job. And finally, opinion. Write the job description. Write the job description here. Example. You can write like this: although I'm good at, for example, you can say I'm good at chemistry, physics, etc. And everybody expects me to be, for example, a doctor, an engineer. I would like to be a or an, and you can write your unusual job. Now, when you write an opinion essay, note down what you know about the topic and collect new information. Note down your personal views on the topic and express your feelings and opinions. Combine your views and feelings with the relevant information and organize each paragraph. And finally, remember that it is your essay and your voice needs to come through. Now we come to the end of our writing corner. We will talk about tag question. Do you remember this? You live in Spain, don't you? You don't live in Spain, do you? This is negative, and the tag question is, this is positive, and the tag question is negative. And if the statement is negative, the tag question is positive. We use tag question to check information. We use an auxiliary verb and the subject personal pronoun. With an affirmative sentence, use a negative tag. And with a negative sentence, use an affirmative tag. And we will have now some examples. You will go to the bank. Won't you? You won't work this Saturday, will you? There is a cash machine on Main Street, isn't it? Or isn't there? You will go to the bank, won't you? You won't work this Saturday, will you? There is a cash machine on Main Street, isn't there? They are not going to go look for another job, are they? Now, note, the verb here is positive, here negative. Negative want, the tag question positive. And the here positive, the statement positive, the tag question negative, etc. They invested in the property market, didn't they? He didn't get the job, did he? It was the night shift you wanted, wasn't it? You are working today, aren't you? Note that we use the same auxiliary verb, will, want, will, is, isn't, are not, are. Invested, there is no helping verb. If we don't have helping verb, we use either do, did, or does. With present, do or does. With past, we use did. And here we have the helping verb. Didn't, we use did. Was, wasn't, and are, aren't. Now, evaluation section. Put the correct question tag here. She is collecting stickers. What's the answer? Isn't she? Isn't she? We often watch TV in the afternoon. Here we don't have auxiliary verb, so we should use either do, does, or did. So we say do not we, or don't we. Number 3, you have cleaned your bike. This is positive. Have not or haven't you? John and Max don't like maths. Do not, don't. So this is negative, we have to make it positive. Do. John and Max, do you, do he, do she, or do they? John and Max, they are plural, so we say do they. Peter played handball yesterday. Yesterday played ed, so we use did. Did he or didn't he? Didn't he? They are going home from school, aren't they? Mary didn't do her homework last Monday. What's the answer here? Did or didn't? Did. Okay. Was the pronoun with Mary? She. Did she? He could have bought a new car. Could. We say couldn't he? Couldn't he? Kevin will come tonight. What's the answer here? Will is the positive. What's the negative form of will? Want. And the pronoun with Kevin, he. So the answer is won't he? I'm clever, aren't I? Okay, now we have polite ways to ask for information with can, could, and would. To ask information with can, could, and would, these are some examples. Can or could you tell me where the bank is? Or you can add also excuse me before can or could. say, could you tell me where the bank is? Excuse me, could you tell me where the bank is? Etc. Also we have would. Would you be able to tell me where the bank is? Would you mind telling me where the bank is? Now we will learn how to make polite request, not to ask information, requests. This time with request. The previous page with information. Now with requests. Can you give me your credit card details, please? Certainly. Could you help me? Of course. Would you open the window, please? Sure. Now we will come to the evaluation section. Read the conversation between the bank teller and the customer. Use could, would, and question tags to complete the conversation. Excuse me, I'd like withdraw 500 euro from my account in 50 euro notes. Of course, madam. I have a form of identity, please. Here we have space. I have a form of identity, please. So what can we say? Could, would, or we can write here question tag, aren't you? Can we say this? Of course not. We say, could I have a form of identity, please? Sure, here you are. Thank you. So you want the total amount in 50 euro notes. You, here we have blank, then you. What can you write here? Aren't you, don't you, aren't they? Of course, the pronoun is you, but what's the helping verb can we use? Can we use it in negative form or positive? Since it is the sentence is in the positive, we should use it in negative. But what's the helping verb? Here we don't have helping verb. We should use either do or does. With you we use do. So the answer is don't you. It's complete. Yes, that's right. Is there anything else I can do for you today, madam? Yes, please. I'd also like to change some American dollars into Saudi riyals. You charge commission, and here we have a tag question with you, and the sentence is in positive. We can use don't. We can say, don't you? Yes, madam, we do. Our rates are displayed on the board. I see. Thanks. Here we have a polite request or asking for information. Should use what? Would. We can use, would you mind telling me how many riyals I will get for $1,000? Of course, at today's exchange rate you will get, etc. Now we will talk about express obligation. This interesting subject is about express obligation with must, mustn't, and have to. We use must, mustn't, and have to express obligation in the present and the future. You must stop at the stop sign. You have to slow down at this junction, sorry. You mustn't or must not arrive late to work. You have to be at the office at 9 a.m. Note, mustn't means you are not allowed to do something. There is no past tense of mustn't. The past tense of must and have to is had to. Express necessity and lack of necessity with have to, need to, needn't, don't have to, don't need to. We use have to and need to express necessity in the present, past, and future. Use the negative form to express lack of necessity. What do you have need to do today? I have or I need to finish a report for work, but I don't need to, or but I needn't hand it in until tomorrow morning. What duties did you have or need to perform in your last job? I needed or I had to answer the phone and deal with customer complaints. What will we need to do before we leave for the conference in Abu Dhabi? We will have or we will need to book an airport taxi. We won't have or we won't need to find a hotel. I've done that already. Now we will have this exercise. Discuss what you have to and must do in the situation shown on the international traffic signs. Here we have some traffic signs: no parking, no passing, and speed limit, and no entry. I want you to use the same phrases that we have studied with these signs. Here, with no parking, what can you say? You must not park here, or you mustn't park here. This is the answer. You mustn't park here, or you must not park here. With this sign, what can you say? I want you to use the verb overtake on this road. Overtake on this road. What can you say? You what? You must not overtake on this road, or you mustn't overtake on this road. This is the answer. What about this sign? Drive faster than 70. What can you say? You must not drive faster than 70, or we can say you have to adhere to the speed limit of 70. You can use must not or have to. And what about this sign? You must not drive down this road. This is the end of our today's lesson. Today we learned how to write an essay about an unusual job, and you have some examples, which is the job of an arborist. What is arborist? Arborist is a sort of doctor for trees. Then we studied using tag questions to check information. We said with affirmative sentence use negative tag. With a negative sentence use an affirmative tag. Then we studied asking for information with can, could, and would. Example: can or could you tell me where the bank is? Would you be able to tell me where the bank is? Then we studied using must, mustn't, and have to express obligation in the present and the future. We said express obligation, must, mustn't, have to, and express necessity and lack of necessity with have to, need to, needn't, don't have to and don't need to. Here are the references. Thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.